Shut up and sit down.
Hello guys, Tjdwarf here, and here's the battle for, well, it's the first battle in the second round of Lord Rexasaur's tournament, which I can't remember the name for, Heroes of the Old World or something maybe. I'll go over fucking Pergamon's army first. As you can see, he's got Manfred on a dragon, Vargeist, 1 unit, 2 units of Cryptars, 2 units of Black Knights, 5 units of zombies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units of Graveguard with great weapons, I believe. Yeah, so in terms of infantry, he will outnumber me in this main engagement here. So if we come to mine, I've got 3 units of miners and blasting charges, and spoiler alert, I actually forgot I deployed them there. So, until it was too late anyway. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Longbeards with shields, 5 in the main line, 1 at the back, 2 units of hammerers, 5 units of quarrelers, 3 units of cannons. I'm using the Slayer King as my lord, and that is it. So if we get on with the battle, you'll see basically my cannons start firing just at the nearest targets probably, which will be these guys. King of Pergamon instantly moves his horsemen, and I forgot they were there until it was too late, which was a shame really. You'll see this now. So that's spotted. Charge. I even had them on hold fire because I didn't want them to get spotted, but I totally forgot about them. So I'll leave that there. As you can see, I've got all my cannons aiming at the Cryptars coming down the middle, because I identified them as a threat. And King of Pergamon notices that once all the artillery starts coming down this way, tells them to start hauling ass essentially. It's also moving these guys over to aid his knights against my miners, which are actually doing okay. But yeah, I've just noticed that they're fucked. I tried moving these guys out, but like I said, they weren't on fire at will, so they just stood there. And I was like, oh fine, fuck you then, I'll just leave you there. I've got other things to worry about. So yeah. Dwarf artillery man. So that unit's been taken out. I believe you cast the spell that it's like a vortex. I think it was the one he cast up here. I was actually surprised how well these guys were holding out. I know they're ranked up a bit, but still. But at this point, I just left them be. I understood that I was losing this flank, so I moved my reserves over here. At this point, crossbows are in range of all his Graveguard. I also noticed his Cryptars coming around this flank, so I got my Slayer King to run that way. I was wondering to myself, could I fire over this hill at all the knights? And the question is, yes you can. Oh, he's cast another spell there. So yeah, artillery started coming in on these guys, which I didn't mind doing so, sacrificing them to be honest in that situation. So now it's just a war of attrition to see how long my guys can hold out on the front. Dwarfs in their slow moving. I was going to charge these guys in the air, but then I think twice about it and keep them here. Because oddly enough, I'm aiming at the Vargas at the moment, which they get taken out by artillery. But these guys, even though it says I've got line of sight down here, when I was actually playing against him, his cav disappeared as soon as they reached the bottom of the hill. So you'll see here that I'm basically remaining stationary because I'm thinking they're somewhere here or in the woods up here. So I'm just stationary waiting for him to come out of the woods, whilst in reality, watching this back, they were only like 2 foot away, which I can't explain that, because in the fog of war, when I was actually playing, they weren't there. And you'll see why I don't think they're there even more, because I'll move my hammers over slightly and give them a gap to charge through. So yeah, now it's just a standard hold the line as much as possible whilst firing over crossbows and artillery. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary here. As you can see, yeah, totally oblivious. That's why these guys were still facing towards the woods. I faced those guys out because I was wondering if he was going to come up and around here. And it turns out he was just stood there all along. That frustrated me more than anything. Because look at that, it's just a perfect gap for him to charge through. Couldn't believe it when I watched it back. So here I got all my crossbows to aim at his lord. And I think he Fate of Brunad my Longbeards. He moves out of range, which causes all my crawlers to move forward. I do notice, but a little bit too late. And here you go, look. I literally did not see them until they got to about this distance. In fact, you'll see when I notice, because I noticed them straight away. There you go, look. That's how close they got before I even noticed. I don't understand what was happening with the fog of war here, but watching this back frustrated me to hell, because this would not have happened if I could actually see where they were. Anyway, I got all my cannons to fire at the remaining cryptars, because they're actually doing a number to my guys. Whilst repositioning these guys, I accidentally selected these Longbeards, which pulled them out, but luckily for me, he didn't move any of his troops to attack my Quarrelers, so my Quarrelers were just getting flank shots constantly here. And yeah, as you can see, my Longbeards are holding up quite well against multiple units of Graveguard. I believe he's Spirit Leeched here. Yeah, the Spirit Leech from his lord onto my lord. So after defeating the cavalry, I just repositioned my Quarrelers, my Hammerers, but by this time I pretty much won this battle. All that's left now is to kill off his lord, but with his morale penalties like that. Boom, 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 bish, bash, bosh. One successful battle for dwarves versus vampires. As you can see, my miners did nothing. They pretty much just held up his cavalry for ages, which was a good thing on its own. But I face-palmed my table so hard when I noticed that I forgot about them after deployment. But yeah, my cannons really going to work, and my Longbeards at the front are going to work. These guys were just, well, saying that, a unit, every 2 guys a unit. Those guys didn't quite take out a unit, but they didn't see that much combat on it, really. And for the King of Pergamon, his guys, well, it was Vargeist and the Cav really, and one unit. Two units in Graveguard did quite well, but that was just wasted points or cost. So yeah, as you can see, a pretty successful battle. It's a good map for dwarfs, especially against vampires, being able to hold off that main causeway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Tjdwarf signing off.